Hey everyone, this is Grant from Blue Jay Races. I just wanted to let you guys know I doing some specky racing now. Starting to get the set together. I had a great race here at Watkins Glen last week, but unfortunately the audio didn't quite record the way I wanted to. So like I said, had a great race. Wanted to bring it to you guys, and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do instead, considering it didn't have any audio, and decided to showcase some of the racecraft that went on during this race. Also, you can kind of get a little bit more of a feel for what specky racing is like. I had a really great time here. Very draft heavy track, and these cars take to it very nicely. Um, we did do some more modifications to the setup that I have been using for this car. We do have that link down. I will put it in the description. It's going to take you to the Google Drive that I have the setup, and I will be continuing to modify the setup as needed to use it for our races. So you can expect to see this more of this in the future. So keep an eye on that. What we did, we changed for this race. We were having some trouble getting the car to kind of settle down. So me and one of our other drivers at DRG Racing, Lane Fowler, took some extra time, checked out what was going on with it, and we found that the rebound stiffness from the baseline set was really low in the front. It was causing the car to bounce around, so we changed it to +6 on both front sides, and the car seemed to settle down. It's been acting really nice, and it was perfect for this race. I was able to use it very nicely, as you can see here. Showcase. I got a nice little start. Didn't lose too much, but we did have a nice little battle pack forming, and you will see that breakdown as we go along. So we're getting settled in here, and Jeff initially makes a mistake through this corner. As you can see, he goes a little wide. I see where he's going, and I don't quite have the run. I don't have anywhere to go with this run, so I kind of had to tuck in behind him for now. Trying to make the most out of the situation. So I'm in his draft, and I know that coming up here is a great opportunity to slingshot by him. So that's what I'm waiting for. And as you can see here, I go for the move. It's about patience with these cars, and especially in when you're perfecting your racecraft. It's all about knowing when to go for those moves, and you can see I'll have a lot of opportunities here where you'll get to see kind of what I go for and when I decide not to. So I get the move done, and not 100% done, but I have the inside line through here, which is the preferred line, and the correct response is to park it on the apex. He's trying to go for a move here, but I don't quite leave it. I'm not blocking, but I'm making sure I'm keeping my lines. So now it's my turn to get into the draft party. I'm in the front, but this isn't going to stay this way. It's just naturally how this track kind of works. So I know that's coming. It's the start of the race still. I'm not trying to get too crazy. Clearly, I'm working with some guys that know what they're doing. So I can see it a little bit. I let him go. I know I can get it back later, so there's no real rush. And if I play it right, I can actually even play off of the draft and lose less time to the leaders, which is really what I'm thinking about long term. I do want to catch up with our first place guy, Burke, in front. He's pretty fast, so trying to play the long game here. A little bit of lifting and coasting. You can kind of see I'm sticking with this guy, but I'm not being too aggressive to where we're both losing time. Especially not so because the guy that is behind us, but the both of us right now, is a pretty high I rating driver, so I don't want to lose too much time and get him in play if I can help it. So I'm just playing it patient, and I even do uh, have a good run on him here and try to go for the move. But unfortunately, as you'll see here, even though I'm going for the move and I have no idea what's going on up ahead of me, we are going to get a yellow flag here because the leader actually binned it. And because I'm in the middle of making a move, we couldn't quite capitalize on it. So at this point, Jeff and I are side by side with each other, and that has compromised my exit speed. So I couldn't quite get back onto the back of Burke here and start taking the fight to him. It's unfortunate, but I was hoping at the time that we could maybe catch up to him later. But this is definitely not going to hurt my situation, just being out behind him and back in his draft. So a lap or two later, I'm behind another one of the drivers of the race. We've seen more of him too later on. I see he's going a little wide here. I know low split racing, people go off and they got to come back on somewhere. I see him coming back on. I give him the space and I make the move. So I made the best out of that situation. So at this point, I'm starting to realize this is going to be a pretty good race. I got a lot going on, and I am trying to keep my cool. I started losing a little bit of pace for a while. I started locking up the brakes and overdriving the car, but I quickly got myself settled back down. I regained my composure, and I see this guy's behind me. This car just behind us, the black one. That's a 2700 I rating driver, so I know that he's most likely going to be pretty good at what he's doing. I think he's working his way up the field. I'm just kind of watching him, but trying not to watch too much. You can even see here he's got some lines going on that are pretty nice. He's trying to put the pressure on me, but I'm just trying not to keep my head down. I know exactly what he's thinking because this is the same stuff that I do to some of the guys that I'm in front or behind. So I know what he's doing, and I'm trying not to focus on that. I'm trying to keep my cool, trying to keep my pace up, and hopefully keep in front of him. So I'm rounding off another lap here and didn't crack under pressure. I worried more about my lines. I didn't watch too much about him, but I am actually going to have to start paying attention here because he actually almost hits me right here into this braking zone. I think there's an alternative line here. I'm running the more of a GT style line to get a faster exit, but I think you can hit deeper, and that's what he's doing. So the next lap, of course, he's looking forward to doing the same thing again. At this point, he knows the way I take that corner. He's going on the inside early, trying to dive deep because he knows he can get that exit. And this is just a move that you're going to catch these guys that are going faster, that have higher I rating. They're thinking different things. So I know that he's going for this move, and I let him go. I can always get that spot back later. I'm just looking forward to getting another race in. So he's in the lead, or he's in front of me, I should say, and getting back in the draft or something I can do. Perfect position for me to slingshot past him in the straight using that, and he's not going to fight it too much either because he knows what's going on. So we're kind of just piggybacking off of each other. But what I don't see at first is that there's another guy and making it three wide. I catch it at the last second, bail out of this corner just enough to make sure that I don't die. Um, Busy trying to make sure I'm staying on my line, and then watch what happens here. This guy gets all over him. And now what happened was is the 2700 I rating driver was trying to keep his line, keep his inside line, and this guy didn't realize. You can see here in post. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get the other thing out of it, but he just comes over and just pit maneuvers him. Perfect pit maneuver. It's unfortunate, but he ended up this guy AJ that was the result of that made me a little nervous at first, but I realized he was just trying to race his lines. So we ended up having a really good battle throughout the whole rest of this race. I noticed he's a little bit nervous now because after that incident, his nerves are a little shot. He's been talking back and forth with this guy for a little bit too afterwards. So he's a little off put, and I'm taking advantage of that as much as I can. He doesn't quite go off of his lines. He actually kind of messes up here, and he keeps giving me this line, so I just keep taking it. If he's not going to get the apex and get a bad run, I'm going to take that inside line from him. So this section right here is actually a perfect example of what I'm talking about. This is something that new racers are going to need to learn. And this is a great thing to learn too, especially for lower horsepower cars where you got to make the most out of your spec racing experience. It's when to concede. I see he is behind me. I got a couple laps left, and I know that he's going to have a run here. And I let him over to the side. I make it very clear to him that I'm working with him. I'm communicating with my car. I'm conceding that line, and we're losing less time overall. So I can sit here, let him get back in front of me, get into that slipstream, work with him a little bit, maybe even bump draft depending on what cars we're in. And we're just working together here, trying to see what we can do to take the fight to first place. Fortunately, he's a little shaky still from his previous incident. He's probably not got the car quite under him, and he keeps giving me this line. I don't know why. I don't think he knows what he's doing in terms of this because he keeps going narrow here, and I just slingshot right by him. So unfortunately, we couldn't do too much here together because of the him keeping messing up this corner and costing us both. But I'll take second place all day if you're gonna let me. So as we approach the last lap here, I thought I'd give you a full lap experience around this track and give you what you can expect on the spec racer here. I'm braking at the 200 board here, trying to gauge a little bit into that dip. It's really gets the car planted, starts giving me a good run here, and I go and take fourth gear all the way up to the top here. Usually my wheel will tell me right at the top here, starts to indicate for me to shift, and that is when I take the fifth gear right at the top. It gives me the best run up the hill. Really sets you up for the slipstream that you're going to have to deal with, especially when you're racing in a tight pack at the start or at any point during the race. Gives you a good run and it'll allow you to kind of make more happen out of this straight that you have to deal with. Um, Great sweeping track. This car absolutely loves it when you get it set up right. So it's a really fun track. It's a fun car and track combo. So I would definitely recommend you guys check it out. Next season, I'm sure they'll run it again. But yeah, I mean, this car hooks up. It's got great mechanical grip. Makes perfect use of this track layout and has some great racing. So I, had a really good race with it, of course, and look forward to doing more of it. I'm sure you'll catch me running these races again, especially if it's coming to this track. It's a great opportunity too for you to practice, say, if you have GT racing coming up. These cars are a really good way to kind of get the feel of a track before you race it on something a little bit more prestigious, like a GT3 or a GTE car. Gives you the idea of what you're going to be getting out of the track and how it responds to a car. So, yep, just finishing up my lap here, and we're going to be finishing P2 after a long race. Definitely earned my P2 here today, and I got a good IR boost from that, as well as just a chance to hang out with some guys from the racing team, get this car kind of settled in, and really made the most of it. So I can't really be too upset. Had a great race. Hopefully this video wasn't too rambly. This has been a minute since I've actually done a video of this kind of format, and I'm trying to pick it up as I go again. But yeah, no, great car, great track, and great opportunity to learn some racecraft. So if you guys did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments below. Likes, awesome. Subscribe's even better. But yeah, no, I just had a really great race with this, and I'm glad I got to bring it to you guys. And hopefully this format presents well on the YouTube video. Fortunately, like I said, I wasn't able to get the audio, so it's it can only be so good. But um, had a great time, and I look forward to sharing more of this in the future with you guys. If you guys want to talk speckies in the comments below too, hit me up. I would love to talk about these cars. I'm having a blast with them. All right, see you guys later.